Hickman High School softball coach Courtney Haskell works every day to make sure her players are safe on the field.
And communication is key. You know, the biggest thing is teaching them the fundamentals so they can stay safe. And then, you know, stressing those every day, working on them, and then lots and lots and lots of communication.
But as with any sport, injuries happen. Last season, 2 of her players collided at practice. Both of them suffered concussions. A concussion is a brain injury caused by a bump, jolt, or blow to the head that can change the way your brain works. Hickman's trainer says the recovery time is different for every athlete.
It is so subjective with concussions, and everybody comes along a little differently. It's hard to say you'll be back in 7 days. Concussions are the one thing that it's just really hard to predict what that date of return will be.
The Missouri State High School Athletic Association has been tracking concussions in high school activities for 5 years. In MSHA's last report, they found 89 reported concussions in softball season, while baseball reported less than 70. MSHA also found that softball players missed over 1,000 days of practice or games, while baseball players missed 630. While those numbers may seem startling, MSHA's executive director says it's simply because of better awareness of concussions.
We don't think that concussions has either increased or decreased, even though data is going to show you that it's increased. We think that's because they're just more aware of it, reporting it, telling you what's going on.
Echoing Haskell's chief lesson that communication is key. Katie Hynes, KOMU 8 News, Columbia.
There's really nothing, there's no festival that we do here at Herman or the wineries put on that actually matches in size to October.
Every weekend of October, visitors flock to Herman. The German town is home to one of the biggest Oktoberfests in the state.
Well, Oktoberfest is a citywide celebration that is decades old. The lifeblood of Herman is the tourism industry. We have between 150 to 200,000 visitors annually.
To help with the influx of visitors, Amtrak runs an additional car train on the weekends in October. Each car train, such as these, holds about 72 people. That way, more than 250 people can travel by train on the weekends. Many local businesses see an increase in sales during Oktoberfest. One of those is Adam Pukta Winery. Tim Pukta is the 6th generation owner. He says October is his busiest month of the year.
Probably at least a quarter of my company's revenues for the year, which is huge. It used to be more than that.
Pukta says the profits aren't the same as they were before the recession.
We see a lot of people, but not the numbers, and we definitely don't see the revenues like we used to see.
McDonald says the festival is doing well for the city because the revenues from a lodging tax are steadily increasing.
It's the business owners, the people of Herman, the quaintness, the home feel that Herman portrays, when you come here, that has people coming back year after year.
Katie Hynes, KOMU 8 News, Herman.
KOMU 8's Katie Hynes is live at the Child Learning and Development Center with parents' reaction.
The parents of about 100 kids will have to find a new daycare for next week. Many parents found out about the closing from a note posted on the center's door. Here's the note. It says the center is closing due to the building's foundation needing work. A few parents told me they don't believe the foundation is the reason why it's closing. We have learned the daycare has been cited numerous times for violations dating back to 1994. During a recent inspection in October, the daycare was cited for 8 violations, including the fact the director was not routinely on duty, as well as there being no approved director on staff. The facility also did not meet requirements for child enrollment and health information. One parent tells us a lot of families have recently taken their kids out of the facility. We also tried reaching out to the current owner, but our calls were not returned. Reporting live in Columbia, Katie Hynes, KOMU 8 News. Boonville Superintendent Mark Ficken told me he was unaware the cybersecurity audit was happening until the district's office received an email from the state auditor's office. 2 business days later, the superintendent says a representative from the state auditor's office showed up to the school district on Tuesday, looking for an office space where he could work for 400 hours. Ficken says he doesn't know how the audit is being conducted and that Boonville is not suspected of fraud or of mishandling finances. State Auditor Nicole Galloway says the cybersecurity audits are to see if student information is secure from a cyber attack.
With interacting with schools in that way and using that technology, schools have a responsibility to proactively make sure that that information is secure and is safe.
Galloway says the audits will focus on making sure student information is kept private and safe. The plan is to audit more schools next year.
The background checks are processed before a buyer can purchase a gun. Target Masters in Columbia did not have an increase in sales from previous Black Friday weekends, but the store expects to see an increase throughout the end of the year because of election season and holiday shopping.
Compared to last year, sales were just about the same. It wasn't an increase for us, but they were both good days, but they weren't an increase in gun sales.
Another gun shop KOMU 8 talked to said it did see an increase last Friday. The previous FBI record for gun background checks was in December 2012 after the shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School.
KOMU 8's Katie Hynes is live in Columbia to tell us how a festival is impacting Columbia's economy this weekend.
In the past fiscal year, out-of-town Mizzou football fans have brought in, on average, more than $4,000 per home game. A manager at the Columbia Convention and Visitors Bureau says football games are not the only way Columbia generates revenue. One of the many Columbia events people travel to every year is the Roots and Blues and Barbecue Festival. This year, the Visitors Bureau will be conducting an economic impact study from the Roots and Blues Festival.
This year, we will have a team on site at the Roots, Blues, and Barbecue Festival, and we're going to produce economic impact numbers from that. So hopefully in the next few months, we'll be able to lock down exactly how much economic impact that festival has for our community.
An owner of the company that helps put on the Roots and Blues Festival says it's the music that draws people to Columbia, even from Australia. Reporting live in Columbia, Katie Hynes, KOMU 8 News.